Adagio, 6676 BPM, slow, flowing, and expressive tempo. Adagio is a slow tempo marking that generally ranges from 66 to 76 beats per minute, BPM. While slower than many other tempos, Adagio has a smoother, more flowing quality compared to extremely slow tempos like Largo. It often conveys feelings of tenderness, melancholy, or introspection, making it a popular choice for both vocal and instrumental music. The tempo allows for expressive, legato phrasing, and it's often used to enhance the emotional depth of a piece. Key characteristics of Adagio: slow but flowing. Adagio is slower than moderato or allegro tempos but is not as heavy or ponderous as Largo. It has a sense of continuity and fluidity, allowing the performer to glide through each phrase with grace. The slow pacing creates space for deep emotional expression, while the flowing quality avoids any sense of stagnation. Emotional tenderness. Adagio is often used to evoke tenderness, melancholy, or reflective emotions. This tempo allows performers to focus on the nuances of the music, creating a rich, emotional experience. The gentle pacing invites introspection, making it ideal for pieces that explore personal or sentimental themes. Legato phrasing. In Adagio, legato, smooth and connected, phrasing is especially important. The slow tempo gives performers the time to shape each phrase, making the most of every note and its emotional impact. Smooth transitions between notes allow for a seamless, flowing sound that enhances the overall expression of the piece. Delicate but expressive. Although it is slow, Adagio often calls for a subtle yet expressive delivery. Performers are encouraged to emphasize dynamics, articulation, and phrasing to convey the underlying emotional message of the music. It is less about power and more about delicacy and emotional depth. Examples of Adagio in music: Ludwig van Beethoven, Piano Sonata No. 14 in C-sharp minor, Opus 27 No. 2, Moonlight Sonata. Adagio sostenuto, Beethoven's iconic Moonlight Sonata, is a perfect example of Adagio used to evoke melancholy and introspection. The piece is one of the most famous examples of Adagio, with a flowing, almost hypnotic quality. Its soft, yet deeply emotional melody creates an atmosphere of wistfulness and longing, making it a favorite of pianists and listeners alike. Frédéric Chopin, Nocturne in E-flat major, Opus 9 No. 2, Chopin's Nocturne in E-flat major is a prime example of Adagio used to express tenderness and intimacy. The piece flows effortlessly, with its delicate piano lines and subtle dynamics. The tempo allows the performer to bring out the nuances in the phrasing, creating a sense of vulnerability and warmth. Samuel Barber, Adagio for strings. This piece is one of the most well-known works in Adagio tempo. The emotional weight of the piece is enhanced by the slow, flowing tempo, as each phrase seems to stretch into the next, creating a profound sense of sadness and reflection. Its use in various films and memorials has made it an iconic representation of the Adagio tempo, evoking deep emotion with its delicate string arrangements. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, Requiem in D minor, K626 Lacrimosa. The Lacrimosa movement of Mozart's Requiem is often performed in Adagio tempo. The piece conveys profound sorrow, and the flowing nature of the Adagio tempo enhances the mournful tone of the work. The slow, deliberate pace emphasizes the gravity of the text and the emotional impact of the music. Johann Sebastian Bach, Air on the G-string. While often performed at a variety of tempos, Bach's Air on the G-string is typically played at a slower, more flowing pace, making it a perfect example of how Adagio tempo can convey both serenity and emotional depth. The gentle pace and smooth phrasing of the piece invite a calm, reflective listening experience. How to perform in Adagio tempo phrasing and expression. Since Adagio allows time for each phrase to breathe, focus on shaping the music with clear, deliberate phrasing. Use dynamic contrasts to highlight the emotional changes in the piece. Soft dynamics should be just as expressive as louder moments, creating a sense of ebb and flow throughout the performance. Smooth legato. One of the most important aspects of performing Adagio is achieving a smooth, legato sound. Focus on connecting the notes without abrupt breaks, and avoid any jagged or uneven transitions. The ability to make each note flow seamlessly into the next is key to capturing the spirit of Adagio. Control of timing. With the slow pace of Adagio, it's easy to rush or drag the tempo. Be mindful of maintaining a steady pulse while still allowing the music to breathe. Each note and phrase should be given ample time to resonate, but without sacrificing the overall flow. Breath control. For vocalists, breath control is crucial in Adagio. The slow tempo gives you time to take in deeper breaths, so make sure to use this opportunity to fill your lungs properly before longer phrases. Controlled exhalation will allow you to maintain steady and even tone throughout the piece. Emotional connection. Because Adagio often conveys sadness, tenderness, or reflection, it's important to connect emotionally with the music. Understand the context and mood of the piece, and allow those feelings to inform your performance. This emotional connection will come across to the audience and enhance the overall impact of the music. Practical tips: start slowly. If you're new to a piece in Adagio tempo, start even slower than the marked tempo to ensure you are comfortable with the phrasing and dynamics. Gradually work up to the indicated speed as you feel more confident with the piece. Focus on dynamics. Given the slow pace, dynamics become even more important. Use subtle changes in volume to create contrast and bring out the emotional depth of the music. Pay attention to crescendos and decrescendos, and use them to shape the flow of the piece. Be expressive with vibrato. Since the tempo is slow and flowing, use vibrato to add warmth and richness to the sound. However, be careful not to overuse it. Let the vibrato support the emotional content of the music rather than overshadow it. Conclusion: Adagio is a slow, flowing tempo that allows for rich, expressive performances. It is often used to convey emotions such as tenderness, melancholy, and introspection. Pieces in Adagio tempo benefit from smooth phrasing, legato delivery, and careful attention to dynamics. Whether in Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata, Chopin's Nocturne, or Barber's Adagio for strings, the Adagio tempo creates an atmosphere of profound emotional depth. By mastering Adagio, performers can convey subtle nuances and emotions, bringing the music to life in a deeply moving way.